Good to go, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is us here right now, Mr. Craig, JP, and Darcy at the Rainbow Comics Cards and Collectibles Show. Right here at beautiful 3310 South Minnesota Avenue. The coolest,
hippest.
And that's not because of the air conditioning. The coolest place.
That too, though. It's hot out.
It's definitely warm. Yeah. Anyways, the greatest place to get all your comics, cards, and collectibles. I'm pretty sure if you looked hard enough, you might even find a unicorn. There's no promise there, but there's a possibility thereof. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday show.
Yes.
Thank you.
The Wednesday Comic Rapport.
The Rapport, yes. The Stephen Colbert Rapport.
Yes. We have a lot of stuff to go through really quick. We have to shorten down some of the stuff that we have to do.
Because I'm late again. I'm sorry. No. I have responsibilities. Why are you bringing it up every time?
No. We actually just had, we just got done with 4 box breaks, so a ton of stuff to talk about. In comic book news, the big news is, I was actually just working on it, Hellboy has been revealed on what he looks like.
Oh, what?
I haven't posted it yet.
So excited about that.
I am super excited.
Dude, I'm stoked. It looks sick.
Him and I are like twins.
Stay tuned after the show. I will be posting those first looks on our Facebook. It's 2 photos, pretty much are him in costume. It's very reminiscent of what Ron Perlman looked like, but I mean, how much do you change it? But he looks great. Very satisfying, and then just the biggest news is that it's the R-rated reboot. So very excited for that.
Awesome. In other news, Stan Lee is he's very positive, and Marvel is currently in works for the rights back for the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Well, they need to figure out something because they don't even have a Fantastic Four comic right now.
Nope.
So, which is terrible.
They're talking about in one of the upcoming comics, deciding or revealing what has happened to the Fantastic Four.
They should just be like, well, the movie rights were...
We're the one of the characters that are like...
It's true.
It is true. What is it? It's clobbering time.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's not, because what happened was,
Yeah, exactly.
Busting their legalese.
They should. It would be really funny.
It would not... No one would pick up that book. And then also, in Justice League, Pals and Gals, I don't know if you caught this, but the DC Action Comics 987, they're revealing the identity.
Mm-hmm.
They're revealing the identity of Mr. Oz.
Got it right here.
Funny thing is, it's Ozzy Osbourne. Called it!
All its lenticular glory. With a great Wonder Woman lenticular on the back. That's a bonus.
Miss Wonder Woman?
I think the biggest news to come out of this week, though, is J.J. Abrams is finally back on Star Wars. He's going to direct Episode 9, which is very, very relieving for all of our Star Wars fans.
Because when what's-his-face walked off, they had to push back the date.
Well, I think they're secretly just pushing back the date because I think they're going to push back Han Solo as well.
Yeah, because
they just haven't officially announced it. But that means they'll have Star Wars this Christmas, Han Solo next Christmas, Star Wars next Christmas. You know what I mean?
It makes sense. It makes
Might
sense.
as well just keep it Star Wars.
The other day, my daughter...
If it's Christmas, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
The other day, my daughter was practicing Star Wars on the piano. But she wasn't doing like that. It was like my ding, 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 ding. But you could hear it. You could hear the hope in it. And then she turns to me and says, "Dad, can we watch Rogue One?" I'm like, "Oh my God, yes, you can!"
Yes, please. All right, we gotta fly through books. There's a ton of stuff. Man, one week away from just...
I know, Mr. Craig is gone next week. The entity that the shadow.
Your last show is next week.
Only the shadow knows.
Your last show
week.
Okay.
Next week is the last show.
Come down to the shop and watch us
Come down live. We want some claps and some high fives.
Yes.
There'll be lots of dad jokes. Lots of good times. I'm going to be singing lots of songs.
It'll be a good show.
And Brian has promised...
Cake. Yeah.
And you can't eat cake if you're not here.
Yeah.
We can do a lot for you. I'm pretty sure there's some of you guys out there salivating just on this move. Right?
No.
How can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat? All right. We got to talk about books, bro. And girl.
We got books.
Yeah!
Okay. Starting off hot off the press this week, Oz Effect Part 1. This is Action Comics number 987. Blake was just talking about it. They do reveal the...
That's because we're up to date on the news.
Yeah.
Today.
They do reveal who is this Mr. Oz, this mysterious man who's locked away our Robin, who has done some crazy stuff with the time, jumping and weird things. So a lot of just explanations behind Dark Knight's Metal. So check this out. Great tie-in. jump on it. Only a few lenticular covers left.
Lenticular. Lenticular. I saw a meme that was like, that girl, he's
Don't
walking
fight for it all at once.
Walking hand in hand with his girlfriend, and he's looking back.
Oh, he's looking back?
And the girl over here says lenticular covers, and his girlfriend is like, good story writing and well-balanced characters.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, yeah.
I just want the lenticular cover.
I've seen one that was like, the wallet was the girl, and the guy was like, ooh. I might have to create one for Rainbow. It might be fun. Assassin's Creed Uprising, baby.
Is anyone reading this?
Yeah, tons of people read these books.
Oh my God.
This is for the video game fans. These are timely, though, because there's a new Assassin's Creed game coming. Origins is coming. Darcy's a huge Assassin's Creed fan.
Yes.
So, as am I. I'm more of a casual fan than a huge fan. But I do like them a lot.
This one has been a fantastic way to just, get a little bit of Assassin's Creed as in between now and when the new game comes out. And this one actually is showing that sometimes both the Assassins and Templars work together.
Mm-hmm.
So this has really been a fantastic series. Great writing, great artistry all around. So
yeah, they do a good job.
They're making an effort with this one.
Absolutely, I love it. It's good stuff. Baby Teeth issue number 4 is out this week from Aftershock Comics.
I keep all my Baby Teeth.
Yeah, just wanted to talk about this one just because Donny Cates. This is a huge book for Donny Cates. He wrote quite a bit on this one, and then he's going to be coming to Marvel's side of the playground and writing Doctor Strange and Thanos. So if you want some previews into what Donny Cates writes, his dark stories, because he really does write dark, gritty horror tales, this would be your one-stop shop for him. Also, he did God Country and Redneck, and very excited to see him come to Marvel and see what he can do.
Yeah.
Next one up is Batman and his greatest adventures. These are based off of the animated series. This is a great way to get some of those stories because some of those issues are completely hard to find and super expensive. So I think like Harley Quinn's first appearance is in here.
Oh
too.
yeah.
So there's
her, what, 15th anniversary or
25th anniversary. And I'm about to talk about that here once we get done with the books. But this is a great pickup for animated series fans. People who just can't really get
enough Batman.
Well, those back issues are really hard to find, and this is only $10. $10.
That's awesome.
$10.
Huge.
Paul Savage, you need to do that.
Yeah, right. Next up is Dark Knight's Metal issue number 2.
Shiny.
It is quite metallic-y. But check this out. The biggest thing this week for this book is this is the first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs, the Batman Joker mashup. So this is going to be a big book for comic speckers, comic collectors. It does reveal some of those characters.
I need to look at it.
So check these out. In glorious Blake fashion, I started from the back. So
I'm looking at that.
Check that out. I think those I think those evil Batmen are going to be the coolest thing that come out of Dark Knight's Metal.
There's something cool that's going to come out of that?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
This last page is super, how can I say this? Deadly.
Yeah, it's gruesome.
It's super awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, the second to last page is awesome too. I have to have this hero clicked. I need this hero clicked right there.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. It's definitely a good pickup.
Okay.
Next one up is The Defenders, issue number 5. You're reading this one, correct?
Yes, I am.
How is it?
I love it.
Good. The show is fantastic.
Sums it up really well. I just love it.
I just love it.
It's really
a great team comic, and does it mash well with the show, or is it just more different?
It's completely different.
But that's good.
Yeah, you'll find some familiar characters from the shows, but it's actually a completely separate entity, all in its own, and it's got some of the other Marvel heroes as well. I guess you could call them heroes. So I love the fact that they've made it completely different.
Sick. Love it. Moving on, Harley Quinn is having her 25th anniversary here up on Batman Day, which is September 23rd. We're going to have a special day where we're going to have free Batman comics, but Harley Quinn is hijacking that day. She's renaming it and rebranding it Harley Quinn Day. So it is her 25th anniversary. There's a 25th anniversary special. This is a one-shot to have some fun with Harley Quinn. A couple different covers. She will be gracing the cover of classic Batman issues for the Batman / Harley Quinn Day. So she'll be actually on the cover of Dark Knight Returns with his silhouette where he's jumping and she's jumping too. No. She's gracing the cover of some of the old Bob Kane Batman ones. So they're having a lot of fun with it. We've got a great ad over our new comic book wall you can check out too when you come down to the shop. But be here on September 23rd. It is a Saturday. We'll also have Sports Card Trade Day going on, so it's going to be a huge day for us. We're going to be very busy, and there'll be free books.
Nice.
Bro and girls. Speaking of Hellboy, though, Hellboy and the BPRD 1955 is a great little side adventure for Hellboy and the BPRD. Doing a lot of fun stuff. I love this era stuff, the 40s and 50s era stuff. And a great way to play with mythology. Hellboy is fantastic with doing that. Check this book out, especially with the new Hellboy reveal. Great time to be a Hellboy fan. There's a lot of new cool content coming out for Mr. Boy of Hell.
Mr.
We know each other, so.
Yes,
this was a huge sleeper hit. It just sold out instantly on our shelves. Mr. Miracle, a small 12-issue miniseries. Number 1 sold out almost instantaneously when we opened the shop. This is back in stock, though, as a second print for number 1. So Mr. Miracle number 1 is back. Number 2 came out this week. We ordered heavily on number 2, so you can now buy both in unison. People were just astoundingly excited about it for some reason. So it caught fire on the internet.
She's in that?
First print comics sold for like $20, $30. It's nuts. Nuts. So come get those. Second prints on number 1. First prints on number 2 for Mr. Miracle.
If it sells well, there's a good story behind it.
Yeah, they're doing a really great job. They threw a lot of creative power behind this. Pestilence is one of my favorite indie comics from Aftershock. A great way to retell the story of the Black Plague, but insert zombies instead. So love it. It's fun. Check it out. Runaways! There's a TV show going to come out for Runaways. This is issue number 1. I am not really a huge fan of the Runaways, but
I'm a little familiar. The primary character from this one is Nico, and this is actually a grown-up version of her, as opposed to the teenage version that was in previous Runaways series, as well as when she was with the A-Force and before that. So I've been missing her since A-Force, and now her is
really good.
grown up now.
Love it.
Wasn't she one of the teens that was in the group during the first original Runaway series?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not a huge Runaways guy. So.
Okay.
Could not remember.
Hey guys, was Nico older in the original Runaway series, or was she the same age as the rest of the group? Just asking.
Comments. Go. Sacred Creatures issue number 3 is out this week. I absolutely adore this book. It is astoundingly good. This should be a movie or TV show right now.
Well, here's the thing. It's based on the 7 Deadly Sins as different characters. Now, granted, if you might be treading a little bit, between that versus Neil Gaiman's Sandman. So, this is just a new way of looking at the 7 Deadly Sins. It involves a little bit of angels and the Nephilim, I think is how they pronounce it.
Nephilim. It is astoundingly good. The world building here is so good. I love this book immensely. The art is fantastic. It really is. It needs to be a TV show or movie right now. Now. Greenlight this book. Do it. Option it.
They should. They really should.
It's already written for them. They could do it. They could copy it frame by frame and be good. Because it's that good. Yeah. It's that good.
I literally need to define the word Nephilim. The children of angels and human women. There you go. Go ahead. I knew some of our listeners or watchers were probably like, Nephilim? What is she saying?
So yeah, they handle that in the book very well. They do a really good job. I think you would like that book.
Really?
It's really cool.
All right.
Yeah. Slam is back. Slam was a 6-issue...
Let the boys be boys!
Slam was a 6-issue miniseries about roller derby. This is a really, really fun book, though. I loved the first 6 issues. Happy to see it back. This is Slam, the next jam. Of course, if you're hip to all that,
Sorry, Brian is coming off from offside camera, and usually when he does that, he needs to tell us something real quick. But he was just putting stuff away. I was like, do I need to look? Oh, no, we're good.
A jam is what they usually call, a session of roller derby. So It's cool, a nice play on words, and it's cool to see this comic come back because I was really, really excited and happy to read the first one, and then I was really sad when it ended, and now it's kind of like surprised that it's back. So happy.
I'm happy for you.
Happy. I'm so happy. I'm gonna wrap up with a few more, and then Blake's got his, Darcy's got hers. Star Wars Double Dose.
Star
Wars regular. We've got issue number 36 in stock this week.
December 15th.
Yeah, right. And then Dr. Aphra issue number 12 is in stock this week, so come check that out for you Star Wars fans.
I've only heard good things about Dr. Aphra. I wish I jumped on that in the beginning.
I do too, but I'm just not really sold on her character. But that's just me. It's just personal preference. I didn't really like her character. This one's really cool for me. Wolfenstein. This is a 1 of 2, so there's going to be a 2-part story here. It is a big book. It is $5.99 cover price, but it's awesome. It's huge. It's thick, and it's based on the beloved revamped game, which I think is probably one of the strongest first-person shooters of the past decade.
Easily
in terms of like how solid it is for mechanics.
When they showed the trailers for the new one coming out, I was just amazed.
It looks so
really
sick.
made me want to go back and actually play those.
Yeah.
I think I'll be picking up it when it releases coming out, but
yeah, they're great games. The graphic quality is fantastic. Alternate history is so much fun.
And because of the fact that even if you're not into the video game itself, there's enough backstory and narration in the beginning of this that you won't feel lost. It's a great way to get started in that world. So,
yeah.
even if you're not a fan of the video games, you'll love it.
Yeah, a good World War II alternate history story, and the first game has a great jump where you get to be on the moon for a little bit, and Nazis on the moon. Hilarious. It's so much fun.
You know what I forgot to mention?
What's up, homie?
In the news, comic book news.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, and I saw a cover she's got over there that has the same kind of red-haired character. Did you hear that they're bringing back the Dark Phoenix? After Marvel has promised not to do this for such a long time.
They announced
They
that
gotta figure it
a long
out.
time ago.
A long time ago?
Yeah.
It was in my
This is
CBR feed today. I'm sorry.
This is like that Blake news where he was like, "Did you guys see Tom Holland jumping around his backyard?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was like 8 months ago."
What was that all about?
You do know they signed on Sophie for like 3
Whatever,
movies.
I'm done.
I find her.
I saw it. I was so excited, and now I'm like, what?
I find her very easy to watch on film and television. Yeah. Anyway,
Sansa Stark.
Yeah.
Is that who that is?
Yeah. Last but certainly not least for me.
I mean, the name. No.
Is Total Tank Girl. This is an anthology book. It's a lot of different creators who've created Tank Girl stories before, all coming up with original content. It's really fun, really cool, especially for Tank Girl fans. I actually commissioned one of our regulars to do a Tank Girl drawing for me, and she showed me the sketch, and I was like, oh my god, it's sick. So when it's done, I'll get her permission to show it on the show.
I thought you were feeling better.
Sorry. Shut up, Blake. Pick this up. It's awesome. If you're new to Tank Girl, this is a great introduction to Tank Girl, just because it's so many different artist takes. One story is completely different from the next, and there's going to be some that you don't like more than the others, but that's kind of the fun with this book, is just a best of little anthology for Tank Girl, and I'm a huge Tank Girl fan, so this will be coming home with me and put it on my shelf, and I love it.
Nice.
Darcy, why don't you show us your books, girl?
All right. I'm going to go ahead, jump right into Generations. This one is with Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel. I love just having that little emphasis in there.
Yeah.
Which actually, it's really fantastic because of the fact that for those who know Captain Marvel, when he started off, it was very much
He's talking
in
about
the cosmic
Stefan
areas.
Right.
So because of the fact that it has that 70s cosmic era, it's really made me want to go back and read his. He's had some really iconic issues as well with his death.
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't be a spoiler at this point.
No, it's way
but
it's like Darth Vader's Luke's dad, bro.
What?
Yeah.
I know.
So the fact that they bring those two together, and that's just awesome for me. They've got a little bit of a back history.
The Generations have been doing really well. My favorite so far has been the Wolverine one, just because we got to see original Wolverine again. So
well, and they just didn't care that all of a sudden, what's going on. Rather than questioning it, they're just like, okay, something's going on. We don't care. Let's just fight. So
well, yeah, and it's just like Wolverine killing ninjas, and I'm like, yeah, dude,
yeah.
Metal, shred it,
shred it. So I'll also keep it going with Superwoman. I've actually,
keep it going,
I've always been kind of leery about DC, but I wanted to give a couple of their issues a shot. This one is a great one-shot issue that they got going on. So, and also I got a thing for redheads as superheroes. So
I did not know that.
Superwoman is right up there. I loved her outfit.
The things you learn.
I know, right? And the fact that they've got Supergirl in there as well is awesome.
Hey, John, I didn't know that.
Brian didn't know that.
Brian's dyeing his hair next week.
No.
You just comb his chest hair up.
And I never give it. We never seem to give it enough love. The X-Men series as well.
Out in editing.
I've been kind of torn between Gold and Blue, just because you take some of the characters that I like from one and some of the characters from I like for another one.
That's how they keep you reading both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And so this one is blue. I haven't picked them up sequentially. I just kind of browsed through them. But this one is rather interesting. You've got Aurora as kind of this vampire-esque character.
Ooh.
And so, you know what? It's quirky, but it's a good kind of quirky. And so you might as well give it a shot. They're going to be leading up to some pretty good stuff coming up. So, yeah. Otherwise...
It's nice to see Marvel throwing some more thought into X-Men rather than just be like, hey, it's an X-Men book, buy it.
Yeah.
Yep. Otherwise, as for my pull list, I might as well do it now. You got the next Doctor Who. I'm on to part 3 now. Of course, Defenders.
People were confused. One guy told me that part 2 and part 3 were supposed to release at once, and I was like, I don't think that's true, homie.
They have got in the back a section that shows how the issues are breaking down.
Okay.
This one is the Lost Dimension series. So I've been looking into that as well as to which one to follow as opposed to which doctors.
That just made me say, Doctor what?
And then there's also the Defenders that's coming.
Yeah.
All New Wolverine is out, and I'm excited to get a chance to read that.
Sick cover on that one, by the way.
It really is. Batgirls and the Birds of Prey, they're starting a new storyline here. So
Gotham City Limits.
I'm super thrilled. My Assassin's Creed Uprising.
I like that cover way better.
And I actually have...
It's like a Mondo cover.
I know, right?
I think it might be.
I love it.
Maybe.
Also, Brian wanted me to give Mage a little shout out.
Brian loves him some Mage.
True story.
Exactly.
Not redheaded mages.
I'm more than happy to promote what he likes. He also has picked up a few issues of Pestilence as well as Rose.
I love me some Pestilence.
We didn't pick up Rose this week, but that series I think is about 5, 6 issues in now.
I love Pestilence.
And
the comic book people.
And then I'm still debating about it, but Wonder Woman issue 30.
Wonder Woman.
Now part 5 of I've got to check it out. Part 5 of Heart of the Amazon, and then next is going to be Children of the Gods. So this is a great time to start picking up and learning about her lore.
These covers have been amazing for Wonder Woman.
I know.
The past like 3 are just like I hate it because I would want to buy it.
And for $2.99, it's kind of like I can't.
You could frame these. The B covers have been amazing. My favorite so far. This one's giving her a run for its money, but the one where she has the rope right in front of her face and the glow. Shred it, bro. Sick. What you got?
I just want to say, I know. I've watched Defenders, my compo. Okay, I get it. I was a little bit behind on 2 issues. You know, we've been doing this show together for like 2 years now, and it's twice I've been off on my news. Twice.
2 times.
You don't get NBC newscasters that are that on. Okay, I'm just saying.
What you got?
Need a fact check.
Where's my fact check department? Sorry, it's whatever I scroll up on the CBR.
It's not in the budget for this show.
Right. So right here I got Gwenpool. This everybody knows. JP turned me on to this one. We got something happening here where they did this jump through time because she can actually like jump through like the panels of a comic book, and now all of a sudden there's evil, or like not like necessarily evil, but dark Gwenpool who's got like the cape and everything. So they're kind of battling, and because of the time jump and the comic jump, it's happening. And it's kind of quirky, and it's a little bit weird, but it fits well with Gwenpool, who is quirky and weird.
Yeah. Exactly. That actually sounds like a really interesting concept right there. So
Gwenpool's a fun book.
Might have to give
I turned Blake onto it because I knew he would really like it. Strong female character. He can't turn it down.
You know, but speaking of not being able to turn it down, Supergirl is struggling for me right now. Supergirl is on my list.
Yeah.
And she might have to get dropped because just the story has not been super phenomenal. I'm going to just say it right now. They did a thing where they did a crossover with Batgirl, and there's always in comic books we talk about the Batman bump, where you have Batman show up, and I think they did that with Batgirl for her because it's struggling story wise, and I don't know how the television show can be so exceptionally well done, like with heart and with innocence and just well written, and then they come to the comic book and you're kind of like, oh, well, okay. Now she's fighting some people from the future, and it's just like,
ooh, let me see that real quick.
Well, and that's why I picked up Superwoman instead, was because of the fact that it seemed to fit much more of the MO of Supergirl as opposed to what Supergirl was actually doing. I mean, the artwork is still fantastic.
Here's our covers.
But
sorry to break into your
go right
conversation.
ahead.
Here's our covers for the Harley Quinn Batman Day. As you can see, she's doing like a Killing Joke one. There's that original Bob Crane Batman. There's a Detective Comics. There's also Dark Knight Returns there in the middle, where she's on there jumping with him in silhouette. There's a Jim Lee one of Jim Lee's original Batman. All done by their respective artists who are still alive. Let's just say that, because Bob Kane didn't draw this.
No.
But those are sick. I really like those. They did a really good job on these. Very happy to celebrate 25 years of the Clown Princess of Crime. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. And then here's Miss Marvel. And I love Miss Marvel. I love Kamala Khan. I love the symbol that she is to so many different groups out there that are struggling in the world. I love what's going on. I also like that in this book we get Kamala Khan on the street. Like Kamala Khan fighting against her local bad guys in Jersey City and everything. My only complaint, I hate to do this to her because I do love the character.
Don't do it.
Is that she is more fleshed out in Secret Warriors and Champions because she's a leader. She's making shots where here she's still kind of youthful and making mistakes and stuff like that. And I just kind of feel like if they're going to advance her in one area, they need to keep it coming.
How dare you?
Keep the growth across the board. Unless they say to me, this is her coming of age story. Her main title is her coming of age. Unless they tell me that, then I need to know. Somebody out there.
A valid concern.
That's a valid point. On the flip side, you've got in the final issues that you have with the Unstoppable Wasp, they focused a lot on Janet, and for her being as experienced as she is, for being one of the longest running leaders of the Avengers. They even had her admit that she still doesn't know what she's doing because
fair.
Everybody has those. They're going to have their mistakes. They're going to have their slip-ups. And
I don't.
Okay.
Perfect
really?
Perfect all around.
Really?
Yeah, isosceles triangle. Damn. Did you have any other books? Did you wrap up?
No, that's it. I'm picking up Secret Warriors, but I haven't decided if I'm buying it or not yet because it's money.
Last but certainly not least, Brian just want to let everybody know Star Wars Destiny new expansion Empire at War does come out tomorrow. If you call the shop and you reserve a box, we'll actually hook you up with some. We'll actually hook you up with some freebies. So call the store, reserve a box. We'll need your name and phone number. You need to pick it up. Tomorrow or Friday, we'll strap some goodies onto the box for you. To answer your question, Justin, sorry I got to it a little bit late. That day on the 23rd, it's all-day event. We start at 10 a.m. because we open at 10 a.m. Trade day for sports cards starts at noon, so it's going to be a big day for us. We'll be juggling a lot of things, a lot of moving pieces, but we're happy to do it. That's why we're open. It's what we do. We love what we do, so we'll be doing all of it that day. Other than that, stay tuned to our Facebook. I've got those Hellboy photos ready to go. Check those out. Let us know what you think in the comments. I'll ask for people's thoughts. I think it looks super awesome. I'm very stoked to see Hellboy come back in an R-rated reboot. Also, sound off in those comments about Star Wars too. Just let us know what you guys think of J.J. Abrams coming back. I think that's a really solid move for Disney and Star Wars. So, yeah.
I wonder how much cash they had to throw at him.
A lot. Because he was
like,
very adamant.
Oh, there's some more money.
What's that? You like honey's, huh? Waka, waka, waka. Yeah. But he was very adamant about not coming back after the first one just because he was nervous, with, he doesn't want to end up that director that wrecked Star Wars.
Who does? Oh
no one does. So, yeah.
Who directed Rogue One?
What?
Who directed Rogue One?
Garth Edwards? Greg Edwards? No, not Garth Edwards. Gareth Edwards. There it is. Yep. Gareth Edwards directed Rogue One, did a fantastic
job. I really
job,
love that one. I really think it's almost better than episode
Alex said those photos are already on there, so I think I tried to post them earlier and they didn't go, so I got to check it and make sure I don't double post it. But check it out. Hellboy first reveal. Very happy. Closing words, Blake?
Next week, come on down to the shop.
Please come down to the shop. We want to celebrate Blake's last show. We're going to have lots of fun. We'll have some food. Just to come out and be in the audience and just, that way you don't have to ask questions here. You can actually just be right in the back and ask questions.
Please. And you know what?
We'll try and allocate some time for a little bit longer show that day.
Sure.
So,
and we've
had
had
a little
fans.
bit more fun.
We've had fans out in the audience before. We used to have, what's the one guy? Oh, I can't think of his name right now.
You really love your fans, don't you?
I do. I love each and every one of you.
He's got so many, he can't keep track.
I can't keep track. I'd be like,
Don't do him dirty like that, Darcy. He just can't keep track.
Right. It's because
you gotta download that app, Fan Tracker.
Fan.
Yep, exactly.
Tracker. No, if I had a fan, it'd be one that kept me cool.
Even your kids won't watch it though.
I know my kids.
I don't want to watch it.
Do we have to watch Daddy? All he does is talk about comic books. So Henry lay in the bed last night.
No, I
said,
hate it.
I gotta go to the comic book store tomorrow and do the show. And now, in his defense, he says he loves everything. So he's laying in bed. He goes, I love comic books. It's like, yeah, you do, buddy. And you always do.
Alex,
sure you do.
Alex gives you a shout out though. He says he lives in DC, but he'll be watching. So
nice, thanks, Alex Shop. I didn't know you lived in DC. Man, I would love to know how many fans over the last 2 years don't actually live here in like the Sioux Falls area.
A lot, actually. There's a lot.
And watch. I know, like when we first started, we were on Periscope. We had people like
we had some other Russians.
Russians, yeah. Like
I think
we were not colluding with them.
No, I think
we were not.
Yeah, I think Periscope's big in Russia. We got to get going though. Signing off. Justin, to answer that last question, that DC metal cover, that was a Jim Lee cover. Plenty of those in stock, so come down and grab one of those if I see you today or tomorrow. Awesome. Darcy, closing words.
I'm looking forward to playing more Destiny
Tomorrow. You can't have that one.
No.
All right. Maybe
All right, boys and
I'll give
girls,
you a
children of all
discount.
ages, have a wonderful day in the neighborhood.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.